we have more freedom than ever. So why do we feel trapped? If someone had travelled 100 years into the future, they would probably assume we'd all be happier. After all, we have more freedom than almost any generation before us. We can travel across the world, work from home, start businesses from a laptop, talk to someone on the other side of the planet in seconds, learn almost anything online, choose careers, choose lifestyles, choose relationships, choose where we live. We have more choices, more opportunities, more freedom than our grandparents could have ever imagined. So why do so many people feel trapped? It's one of the great paradoxes of modern life. The walls have disappeared, yet many people still feel imprisoned, not by governments, not by locked doors, but by something much harder to see. Invisible expectations, invisible comparisons, invisible pressure. The prison has changed. It's simply moved inside our minds. Imagine standing in front of 1,000 doors. Every one of them leads somewhere different. At first, that sounds exciting, but after a while, something unexpected happens. You become afraid of opening any of them, because choosing one means letting go of the other 999. Freedom, strangely enough, can become overwhelming. Our grandparents often had fewer choices. Life was simpler, harder in many ways, but simpler. There were clearer expectations. Today, the possibilities seem endless, and with endless possibility comes endless uncertainty. Am I doing enough? Should I change jobs? Should I move? Should I earn more? Should I travel? Should I be married by now? Should I have children? Should I be happier than this? The questions never end. The comparison has become one of the invisible bars of this modern prison. Every day we're shown thousands of lives. Perfect homes, perfect relationships, perfect holidays, perfect bodies, perfect success. Our brains compare automatically. It's what they've always done. But they were never designed to compare themselves with millions of carefully edited lives. It's rather like entering a marathon, only to discover you're racing against every runner in history at the same time. No matter how well you're doing, someone always appears to be doing better. And eventually, you stop appreciating your own journey because you're too busy measuring it against somebody else's. There's another trap that few people notice. Many of us spend our lives chasing freedom without ever asking ourselves what freedom actually means. We say, I'll be free when I earn more. I'll be free when I retire. I'll be free when I meet the right person. I'll be free when I move. The destination keeps changing. Like a horizon, the closer we get, the further away it seems. Perhaps the real freedom has very little to do with circumstances. Perhaps it's about the relationship we have with our own mind. Because you can live in a beautiful house and still feel trapped. You can travel the world and still feel trapped. You can have financial security and still feel trapped. External freedom doesn't automatically create internal freedom. They're completely different things. Imagine carrying a bird in a beautifully crafted golden cage. From the outside, everything looks wonderful. The bird is still unable to fly. Sometimes we build golden cages for ourselves. Successful careers we no longer enjoy. Relationships that we've outgrown. Routines that no longer nourish us. Bits that we've stopped questioning. From the outside, life looks impressive. Inside, something quietly longs for more. One of the biggest prisons we create is the need for approval. Think about how many decisions people make. Not because they truly want to, because they're worried about what other people might think. They stay silent. They stay small. They stay comfortable. Not because they lack courage, but because acceptance feels safer than authenticity. Without realizing it, they have handed somebody else the keys to their own freedom. Then there's time. We constantly tell ourselves, I don't have enough time, yet if someone asked us where all the time actually went, many of us would struggle to answer. Not because we're lazy, because distraction quietly steals our hours, one notification at a time, one scroll at a time, one unnecessary interruption at a time. Freedom isn't only about having time, it's about being conscious of where your attention goes, because your attention is your life. Perhaps that's why some of the happiest people I've met live quietly, spend time in nature, value simple conversations, enjoy ordinary days. From the outside, they appear to have less. Inside, they've discovered something many people spend a lifetime searching for: enough. The modern world constantly whispers you need more. More money, more followers, more success, more possessions, more productivity, more everything. But it rarely asks a far more important question: what is enough? Because the moment you know what enough looks like, you become much harder to manipulate. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want. That's impulse. Freedom is being able to choose your response, choose your priorities, choose your values, choose where your attention goes, and perhaps most importantly, to choose whose voice you listen to, the world's or your own. Maybe that's why so many people feel trapped. Not because they lack opportunity, but because they've slowly drifted away from themselves. They've become so busy living the life they think they should have that they've forgotten to ask whether it's the life they actually want. Perhaps the greatest freedom any of us will ever experience isn't financial or geographical or social. Perhaps it's waking up one morning knowing that the life you're living actually belongs to you, not to expectations, not to comparison, not to fear, but to you. So maybe today, pause for a moment and ask yourself one simple question. If nobody else's opinion mattered, what would I do differently? Don't answer that too quickly. Let it sit. Because buried inside that question may be the beginning of a freedom you didn't realize you'd lost. We spent centuries breaking free from external limitations. Perhaps the next evolution of humanity is learning how to free ourselves from the invisible ones, the beliefs, the expectations, the comparisons, the fears. Because the strongest prison isn't always built from behind iron bars. Sometimes it's built from thoughts we've repeated for so long. We mistake them for reality. And the beautiful thing about a prison built by the mind is that the door has never actually locked. And in closing, if this conversation made you stop and think, I'd love to hear from you. What is one invisible expectation you've realised you've been carrying that no longer serves you? Share it in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this 5-part series, The Silent Collapse of Modern Humans, I'd love for you to subscribe, because this series wasn't really about distraction or boredom, numbness or freedom. It was about something much deeper. It was about remembering what it means to be fully human in a world that's constantly pulling us away from ourselves.